Time is running out for our planet, and the fashion industry has a vital role to play in reversing damage to ecosystems, cultures, and economies. I'm Safia Mini, and over 25 years ago, I founded and ran one of the first sustainable fashion brands. I'm going back to India and Bangladesh to visit inspiring suppliers to research best practice and hear from them directly about their progress towards a sustainable future and a just transition for the industry. I visited projects at every level of the supply chain, from farmers and craft producers to giant factories working with major brands, to explore 5 key areas of regenerative practice: low-impact materials, regenerating nature, renewable energy, workers' welfare and women's development, and communities and culture. I started upstream, visiting 2 impressive organic and fair trade cotton initiatives in Rapa, Zaminta India Organics and RDFC, which is a farmer-owned company. Both organisations support farmers by marketing their produce, collecting it from the farm gate for a pre-agreed price, providing drought-resistant GMO-free seeds, giving training and paying a premium that can be reinvested in the farms. Organic farming is radically different to conventional farming. It doesn't rely on fossil fuel-based inputs and promotes biodiversity, soil health and farmer welfare alongside profit.
Coming soon in next January, 450 more members in the organization. They are also certified organic and fair trade. And that is a very important, because all the 3 aspects, economical, social and environmental aspects, it's cover in the policy and the mission of the organization.
Both organisations I visited grow crops to GOTS organic certification using traditional farming methods upgraded with modern know-how. Some of the farmers are gaining regenerative organic certification too. Farmers told me they've recently chosen to spend their organic and fair trade premiums on renewing a local dam, radically reducing water use through drip irrigation, training in wormy wash compost and natural pesticide making, seed kits for fruit and vegetables, hiring a school teacher, and women's health and empowerment training. Women have traditionally been structurally excluded from leadership and involvement in decision-making on farms. RDFC recruited Mina Bora to be responsible for certification work, training coordination, and women's development and rights. There's about 35 women who are direct members of your organisation.
Yes, directly 38 women farmers involved with our project.
It's very powerful to have you here. You're a great role model to many of the women.
Yes. And also we have decided in board meeting that how we can also select the board member. Next year we will start that work.
Organic cotton is one of the best alternatives we have to fossil fuel-based fibres. I wanted to see how its environmental impact can continue down the supply chain. I visited Sri Santosh, which is a fully vertical operation near Tirupur. They take in raw organic cotton and turn it into finished jersey knitwear items for brands like Continental Clothing and Earth Positive. It's the first LEED Platinum factory in India. It's powered entirely by wind and solar power plants built by the business. I was impressed by their commitment to decarbonisation and the scale of production.
Yeah, we have around 100 tons of organic fabrics here.
And your capacity is 50,000-60,000 t-shirts per day?
Yes.
After the harvest, this giant warehouse is completely full of organic cotton from Gujarat. The cotton is cleaned by hand in the blow room. It's then mechanically converted to slivers, drawn and roved before being spun into yarn. The yarn is knitted on circular knitting machines into organic cotton jersey before being taken to the dye unit. Until recently, dyeing has been an extremely polluting process, discharging vast amounts of chemical effluent into waterways. In this factory, different size vats are used to reduce water use, and a state-of-the-art zero discharge treatment plant, or ZDHC, uses reverse osmosis to completely separate the chemicals from the water.
So this is the treated water. This is going back into the factory, 90% of it. 5% is the salt that's being reused, and the rest is going back to the cement factory.
Once dyed, the cloth is taken to a brand new green factory to be turned into finished garments.
We build a LEED platinum green factory, which is built by recycled steel, recycled glass, and recycled materials used inside the factory. And also, this whole campus is 100% the rain harvesting system.
The factory environment is spacious. Good natural lighting and eco-friendly climate control make a pleasant working environment. The canteen serves good quality subsidised meals. The factory provides free sanitary napkins for female workers. The spinning mill has a free dormitory for unmarried women, enabling them to live safely away from home. There are plans to build another dormitory for 350 women at the factory this year. From Sri Santosh, I travelled north to visit Sustainably Crafted Clothing. It's a smaller operation, making high-quality woven garments for European brands like Needy Jeans and Knowledge Cotton, halfway between Tirupur and Bengaluru. They work mostly with regenerative organic cotton and small amounts of linen, textile and hemp. They pride themselves on their attention to detail and the quality of their clothing.
Our idea is, how you can make a really good factory that can produce high quality garments and to do it in a responsible way. And for us, sustainability is about how you can create a community that is sustainable. Whether it is the cotton farmers where we support them for their organic farming practices and give them surety of purchase, which is what they want. And or coming to the workers where this work has some meaning in their life and they can live with certain dignity in their own place. They don't have to migrate and go through all kind of exploitation or low or poor livelihood, let us say.
SCC has deep relationships with their suppliers to ensure the highest social and environmental practices throughout their supply chain. Their regenerative organic cotton is grown by Chetna Organics. This is a pioneering farmer-owned company similar to RDFC. In their factory, SCC have strong and effective social initiatives. They provide free buses to bring people to work. They have a medical centre for workers, excellent meals in the canteen, and subsidise a local school and library for workers' children. They are also working to address structural inequalities and empower female workers, insisting on paying their wages directly into their own bank accounts and running training to give them skills and confidence to step up into supervisory and managerial roles. I was impressed by the work of these pioneering factories, but I also wanted to see more traditional methods of production. Local craft producers often have low carbon footprint, make use of plentiful, local, low-impact materials, generate livelihoods in rural areas, and strengthen communities and culture. At the same time, they can produce unique and beautiful products that people can treasure and pass on. In Bengaluru, I visited an eco-store called Regenerative. It sells sustainable fashion created by Indian designers made with traditional craft techniques. Some of the pieces use organic colour cotton, which is indigenous to India. It's a purely rain-fed crop that has a high tolerance for disease and pests and requires minimal investment. I went to Kutch to see how this cotton is produced and used. Kutch has been the centre for colour cotton production for 5,000 years. It's still spun by hand by women in the area. I went to a village called Arakana where the women showed me how it's done. It's very much a communal activity and an important part of cultural life in the village. 95-year-old Gajaraba told me how she's been spinning since before independence. There are also some simple yarn spinning machines which some women choose to use to increase productivity, whilst others do hand embroidery for various craft organisations in the region. The yarn the women produce is bought by Kamir Crafts. I visited them in their workshop and showroom in Bhuj. So this cotton, colour cotton, this is actually 5,000 years old. This is the indigenous cotton of India.
Yes. And this is the short staple cotton, so it will not be a finer thread. 20 to 24 counts yarn. As you wash, it's become softer and lighter.
You're collecting and then spinning about 750 kilos of yarn each month, and then some you're selling as cotton to other people, and some of them you're converting here. You're hand weaving it into fabrics, and then also adjunct printing, which is a natural printing process. Khmer Craft sells their beautiful hand-woven, hand-printed fabrics to designers, and also turns them into finished garments which they sell in their shop and online. I was heading now from India to Bangladesh to see one of the largest pioneering factories in the country. But first I wanted to visit Tanapara Swallows near Rajshahi to see an example of a craft-based company that works with international buyers. Tanapara Swallows makes beautiful high-quality clothing and home textiles. It's a low-impact operation that offers a woman-friendly environment and pays living wages to local artisans. It runs development programs through its NGO to promote literacy, education, health and women's rights, and runs a small school and creche for artisans' children. Shanti, tell me about the history of Tanapara Swallows. Why did it start?
In 1971, 13th April, we had a big massacre happened by the Pakistani army and killed more than 200 people from our village. The village was known as a widow village. From there is an organization called the Swallows in Sweden. They came to here and started giving the income opportunities for the widow women from this village.
Swallows are a sustainable fashion pioneer. I worked with them for many years, and we discovered together how to adapt their traditional craft skills for the Japanese and Western markets. They work with organic cotton, weaving it on hand looms before tailoring it into quality garments. They specialise in hand embroidery, making it possible to add unique designs to smaller orders. They can offer low-impact natural dyeing if required, and are experienced in working with international buyers to develop products. I asked Lena, the head of the embroidery section, what motivates her and her vision for the future.
She's saying she can represent her work through Swallows into the international market. So for that reason, she feels so proud to be here. Her main vision is doing more design in different states, of course keeping the traditional skill and showcasing it into the international market, so that Swallows can get more order and more work can be given to the producers.
I was coming to the end of my journey, but before leaving Bangladesh, I wanted to see a large factory to compare it to those I'd seen in India. High production volumes, fast lead times and low labour costs have made Bangladesh an attractive destination for fashion buyers. I went to Gazipur to visit Ecotex, a business that aims to produce clothing responsibly for larger brands. So Shafiq, tell me a bit about Ecotex.
Well, this is a company that was established in 2008. We make fabric, especially jersey fabric, which is called circular knitted fabrics. We dye the fabric, we finish the fabric, and we cut and we make. We also do printing, we also do denim, we also do outerwear. We work with H&M, we work with New Look, we work with Mango, we work with Primark, we work with Varna.
I was impressed by the care and concern that the senior leadership team displayed for their workers, with how seriously they work to mitigate the environmental impact of their business, and that big brands are placing some of their orders with factories like this. They are currently replacing their existing dieffluent treatment plant with a £5 million ZDHC, the first of its kind in Bangladesh. Rooftop solar panels provide 20% of their daytime energy. This will soon increase to 50% with the installation of solar wall panels. Waste heat from gas dryers is recovered and fed back into the drying machines to reduce energy use. Ecotex has a zero-tolerance policy towards sexual harassment. In addition to good wages, employees benefit from production bonuses, free health insurance and health care, a creche, female supervisor and gender equality training, a discounted shop for food and basic necessities, and paid maternity and paternity leave. The factory provides free meals and snacks to workers during their shifts. The canteen serves 18,000 workers on 15-minute meal settings. 3 tons of rice are steamed each day.
So the new mantra around sustainability is that sustainability is doing less harm, but that isn't good enough. That we need to build a more regenerative fashion industry, one that's doing good.
We are welded together in this catastrophic future that has been projected, you know. It's no longer a story, it's happening. Fashion is polluting. Fashion emits a lot of greenhouse gas. We've got to come together to be able to do something seriously about it, you know. It can't be lip service, you know. It can't be, we'll do it tomorrow.
If we cast out maybe just 5 years.
My vision in terms of sustainability is to be carbon neutral by 5 years.
I've been hugely impressed and inspired by the extraordinary people I've met on my journey. There's so much knowledge and passion there to be drawn on. There's no shortage of solutions for environmental and social innovation. Time is short. All of us in the textile and fashion industry need to get behind pioneering practice to help regenerate nature and build a just transition for all.